Hi guys. I got a baby microphone so y'all can hear me better. And the adapter for it couldn't come in a perfect time because I'm sick and y'all are barely gonna understand me as is. So we are gonna just get through this because I really was feeling called to do this video. Video 6. It's not really piggybacking piggybacking off of last video because I'm kind of all over the place with it up to this point. I realized I've been watching it through the healing of my perception, and it's been awesome. But then I kind of started viewing it from the perception of like old Stephanie. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. I need make it a little more simple. And just kind of do that really quick. Oh, that moves. Ooh. So yeah, I just wanted to do that and then just see what happens. Let's just start and then see what happens. I love that about me, I have to admit. I think that's one of my best qualities because you never know what you're going to get. I'm not boring at all. I mean, when you really know me, friendship, relationship, family, I could be a pretty exciting person if I'm allowed to be 100% myself. And I didn't have that my whole life. It got shut down pretty early on. There are reasons for that. But let me start with what I think the higher power is that's over everything. Everyone has their word for it. God, higher power. Some say Jesus, Buddha, Krishna. Some people say Satan. I mean, I know but see, I don't believe Satan's real. Like Satan in the sense of there's an actual Satan. Because I don't believe there's an actual God that's like separate from us in a sense that reigns over our souls. Are we worthy enough to no, I don't believe that. But again, if you do, and you're living your authentic life in that, then that's what you're supposed to be doing, and that's beautiful. I love that. That's the whole point, to experience. I have some Christian people on my Facebook that are traveling the world and living their best life, and I'm like, that is fantastic. I love that. I love that. So it doesn't matter what we believe. I don't think that. I really, honestly, it goes to one source at the end of the day, because when these bodies are done, and then we go back into the ground, back to Gaia, right? Then our souls, spirits, whatever you call it, they just go do other stuff. Like whatever it is we do, whether you want to incarnate back into another body here on Earth, or you want to go live on another planet somewhere, do something in other realms. I don't know. There's so many freaking possibilities. I don't know them all. Nobody does. And that's the other thing. That's the beauty of this. I don't want to know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to know what I know when I know it. Do you know what I mean? So, like, in a sense, I've kind of surrendered in, I will know what I need to know when I need to know it, and I trust that. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Source to me is just energy. Loving energy. There's this like mysticism to it, like this magic and grace and all-encompassing love that just has no conditions. Like, it's ridiculous, like, in the good way. The ridiculous isn't necessarily bad, but for a child to today, Junior, name that movie. Yeah, for a child to feel that, from like, that to me is what it would almost feel like, almost ridiculous, because I didn't actually feel that in human form, I guess, in this form. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I think source is. And we're here to live these lives that we planned out, and then have contracts with all these people that we come in contact with in this life. And we legit do what we need to do. And then somehow, some way, we just know when it's done. We just know when it's severed, when it's healed, when it's right. So that, and then some people separate and then others like continue on the journey together. It's a beautiful exploration of learning ourselves through the connections we have with people. So yeah, I don't resist it anymore. I just don't. And the law of attraction too, huge. Look into that, because that's some fascinating. I should stop guessing. That's fascinating. Fascinating, darling. It's just fascinating. It really is. Oh my God. Because it's so true. Like, it's true. And when you start looking at everything in terms of energy, it's insane how true that is. But again, I don't feel like it's my job to sit here and like label everything and then like walk you through it and tell you how you're supposed to do it. There's other people for that. I'm just here to tell you what I've experienced, and that's just how that's going to be. So, I mean, I help you. What are you talking about? Explain more on that. Then I will. I'll help whoever. I mean, there are like tons of words out there in the spiritual community that are floating around that I don't necessarily use, because like manifestation, for one, I believe that is possible. You can manifest anything. We're natural manifestors, right? Because we're natural machines, right? We're Gaia's machines. I mean, and I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Like, we are made of her. But we're like, have this natural biology that's just magical if you really look at it. Like, it's insane to me. It blows my mind, the human body. It blows my mind. And equally grosses me out at the same time. It's insane. Like how we do, like chewing on our carcasses and swallowing it down, and then it comes out, and it's just, that's a whole other video, but I just really felt the need to bring that up, because that's really it just makes me it makes me want to eat cleaner all the time. And I have this pattern, and that's part of my pattern, where everyone's got these like addictions. Well, the stuff you're not supposed to eat is mine. Yeah, this kind of took a turn. Let's get back on track. That's like a whole other thing. For today, we're supposed to be simplifying it, Stephanie. Simplifying. Why am I all holding my hands up? Are y'all seeing that? Like, I'm all prim and proper with my little, just fully aware I was doing that. Yeah, so we're all connected. I know I keep saying that, but to really know that, you have to know that. I can say it all day long, and until you know it, you're not going to know it, and you won't know what I'm talking about until you know it. I know that sounds so freaking weird, but that's the truth. That's my truth. That's just what I've experienced. Because I remember hearing that, and I'd be like, yeah. No, like literally, we're made of all the same material. I'd be like, okay. You're saying I'm made out of the same material as this hammock right here. Okay. I remember someone telling me that. And it was a chair at the time, not a hammock. But I just said that because I'm actually in one right now. But yeah, it was a chair. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. But go sit over here by the sane people. So I know. Been there. Totally been on the other side of this. So I know exactly every possibility that could come at me. But the beauty of it is you can't really argue this. Because it's my truth. If it's yours too, climb on board. If it's not, scroll on by. It's like, it's that freaking simple. You can't tell me I'm wrong. Because I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not bothered by it. It's just crazy how I like went from, oh yes, thank you, that was a nice little go into it. My purpose as Stephanie in this lifetime. And I know, oh my God, Stephanie, how do you know your purpose? How is that possible? It's to tell my truth. That's literally it. It's just to tell my truth. Now, the lessons that I have gone back into and looked at throughout my entire childhood, adolescence, young adult life, the lessons have been, you tell your truth, you get burned. And that's just how it's been. That's how it's been my whole life. I tell my truth, and I get burned. Like, no matter what it was. And that's horrible, and then after a while you just stop telling it, and you get to a point where you realize, oh, that's why. I'm like, almost in a sense, building a suit of armor. Not that I can't ever be hurt again, but almost like no one on this planet can make me feel as bad as I have made myself feel. Now, I didn't come in telling myself I was worthless. No. I came in knowing my light, knowing my power, knowing where I came from, knowing that we are souls on the other side doing other great things, and that this earth is just an experience to have. And that is legit it. Go through trials and tribulations, and with that comes karma. The only way to be able to do it is to balance it out. That makes so much sense to me, right? So then we come in, and my mind just went to tell my truth. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I had to be burned over and over and over and over and over and over and over again to tell my truth, so that I could get to the point where I am now, where I'm going to tell my truth, and it really seriously does not matter what anybody says to me right now. That's my truth. You can not hurting me, because I'm not projecting anymore as much. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, I still got stuff. Nobody's perfect. We still have our stuff. I'm not healed by any means. I have my, negative moments. I have my positive ones. And vice versa. That's just how it goes. The vulnerability thing. Again, show your vulnerability, you get burned. So I have so many experiences with that. So now to the point where I'm just going to have to be okay with being vulnerable and showing my weaknesses, which end up being, strengths, actually. I'm supposed to be authentic. I'm legit supposed to just, what I feel, how I feel, I'm supposed to just be like, here it is. This is it. No matter what anyone thinks. Because my entire life, the majority of the people around me have an issue with what I believe or what I would say or how I was as myself. And the sad thing is they just didn't realize, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know. They don't know I'm secretly being myself inside and completely faking it on the outside. I mean, this is all me. This is my inner world, not theirs. My inner world. And that's how it's been my entire life. And I honestly think that's how it is for everyone. But you get so caught up in the separation of it all, you legit think that you're separate from everything. So then everything bothers you. Everything pings off you. You can get agitated at any given second. Again, you gotta go and find where your traumas are. Look through your triggers. That's how I started. I started meditating with a candle, just staring at a candle, trying to just get my mind to calm down enough. But I had to get my body still first, because my body was all over the place. And again, it would be with the munching down, not being able to sit still, getting just agitated, restless leg syndrome. I had to get my body still, so I forced myself to stare at a candle. And I would sit there and just, oh God, this is so stupid. And I would get so irritated with myself. And then I'd get up and go do other stuff and be like, this is stupid. I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is freaking retarded. And I would get so mad at myself. I'd call myself worthless. You're a piece of crap. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not one of these like Hindu people who can go off into the mountains for, days at a time alone and be okay. Guess what? I could totally do that right now. I could just go somewhere by myself for days and be completely, oh my God, I love that. The idea of that is fascinating. Wonder how long I could do that for. I do need connection. But right now, because I'm not sure how to connect, I'm okay with not actually having it-ish. I'll figure it all out. That's what part of this is about, right? So the source thing, to be able to get to my truth of source, I had to go through the thick of it with religion. And I haven't even told y'all all of it. Oh, I haven't even told y'all all of it. I'm not even sure I want to revisit it. I've revisited over and over and over again, and I don't know. It's not time. It will be. When it's time, it'll be time. I trust that. Again, no reason. I'm not going to fight it. The truth of money. The truth about money and what it really is and what it signifies. I had to go through a life of living in lack. lack. You'll never have what the good things money can buy because it's evil. Yeah, no. Money literally is just energy along with everything else. Oh, but Stephanie, how can you sit there and say you're going to have enough money to travel? You're going to be able to buy your van and you're going to be able to travel the world and do whatever you want to do and have an unlimited amount of funds just flowing towards you. How is that going to happen? I don't know. Oh, but Stephanie, that's delusional. Is it? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm completely aligned and I feel so calm and beautifully uncomfortable, which actually in this moment I don't even think I'm uncomfortable. I'm telling my truth. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I don't care what other people say or think. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm so over it. And then, and then for the longest time, I would sit there and I'd be like, but are you? I'd be like, yeah. But are you? Like, dude, yeah. But Stephanie, are you? Dude, seriously, why are you looking for something? Because that's bred in me. When things are going well and everything is just, everything's fine. And yes, you have your little release moments because that's life, but that doesn't ruin my day. A little 15-minute freak out, and I don't even want to call it freak out, but for me being as calm as I am now, that is really considered a freak out to me anymore. When something just pops in my head and I just for 15 minutes and then I'm done. It's released. It's gone. It doesn't ruin my day. I'm back to the happy, comfortable, going with the flow person, right? It's beautiful to me. So why is that? Are you sure? Like, look around the corner. Oh, wait, there's another corner. Look around that one. Are you sure? Dude, stop. No. And I'm going to go into that. That's the energy in my family. Live in the fear of it. Let's just live in the fear of all the bad stuff happening in the world. Let's live in the fear of it. Yeah, because it could happen to me. It could happen to my kids. It could happen to my grandkids. So I'm not going to live a life I want to live out of fear that the outside world that I'm experiencing is going to happen to me. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, absolutely. If you're sitting there thinking that, sitting there believing it, yeah, shit's probably gonna happen, right? But if you live in the reality that it's not going to, because you're not sitting there feeding your brain with all of the outside crap of the world. You're not sitting there worrying that this is going to happen. You're not getting in a car, Stephanie. This is a big one for me. I would get in the passenger seat of a car. And in town, I would be okay. As soon as we hit the highway or headed out of town, panic would set in. I would be on eggshells till we got stopped. Because in the brain of Stephanie, for whatever reason, trauma related, and I've had many car accidents where I've been a passenger, so that right there alone is enough. But yeah, I would panic. I'd be just panicked. And that's ironic, right? Because I want to travel. But that's how we do things, right? We plan out what we want to do before we come to Earth and jump in these bodies. Okay, I'm going to travel. That's what I want to do. I want to travel the world. But we're going to make it in your life to where you fear that travel scares you, that you can't be in a car without being panicked about it. That's messed up. But that's how we do it, right? Like, that's what I've noticed. And when you get to the pit of the fear of why you're terrified to be in the car and realize that you are taken care of and that you're not lining up to be in a car accident, right? You're not going to die by car wreck. You might, if you keep hearing all the stories of your friends and friends of friends and family members and stories on the news where car wrecks happen all the time, right? And you constantly have it in your head, you're going to get in a car wreck, right? It's going to happen. Why? Because I did that. I probably had that memory as a kid. Now that I'm sitting here actually thinking about it. This is some like real-time realization right here. I caused all those car accidents. Because I can't remember when that first happened. Like, when I just always been freaked out in a car. Oh, I've always been freaked out just being in a car. Oh, childhood memory. Oh, yeah, I was in the back seat with my brother. And my bio dad's driving, right? He's driving. And he's like trying to push my mom out the car. We're like hauling butt down the highway. Dude, I wonder if that's like part of it. Dude, yeah. I heard that was crazy. Those are nice cars back then, right? It had the whole back seat. It was just the whole back seat. You could lay down and sleep. We didn't have to wear seatbelts. Oh, we used to get in our pajamas and go to the, what's that called? The drive-in. Yeah, we'd have popcorn and drinks. We'd get tired and fall asleep in the back before the movie was over. Oh, that was fun. Hey, I had a bad memory and a happy one. That's awesome. Or wait. Bad memory. That's crazy. Oh, and then another one, the praying mantis in the car with my stepdad. This praying mantis got in the car and I was terrified of bugs. It's in the car and it's just sitting there looking at me. I'm freaking out, trying to get out of the car, and then my brother is he's like pushed up inside on the back, like where the windshield is. I think I'm all hanging out the window trying to get away from it. It's on the floorboard just looking at us. We're flying down the highway. But the funniest thing is we never wrecked either one of those or wasn't an accident. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. The money. Oh, the Matrix. Everyone's talking about the Matrix. I love all of the possibilities of it, but I think it really isn't anything more than just like legit magic. Like it's just this magical thing that we have the abilities to do. You know, as humans, we're limited to it. Again, that's not real simply put. Oh, here we go. Let me just put a pen in that. Sorry, pen. I think, the manifestation thing, thank you, where I don't like really the manifestation. Yes, we can do this, where I believe you can manifest anything you want. But I don't think we have to, like, so much. Everyone's talking about intentions. I don't have a problem with intentions. I think intentions are very good, and I do have them. But I see these people out there, they're writing stuff down like so many different times, and they're saying things over and over again, and to manifest it. And I believe that works. I do. But I don't do that. I'm just legit just being myself. I'm not hiding anything anymore. And I know a lot of the mindset of humanity is, I'm only going to allow the outside world to know what I want it to know of me. Right? And I'm going to keep all this other stuff inside because it's mine, and I'm not going to share it with anyone. You don't have to. Just keep doing what you're doing. That's fine. That's your life. That's you're doing your thing. But think about it like this. You don't want to share it with someone. There's a reason why. So just look at it. That's it. Just look at it. Try and find the reason why, possibly. Why don't you want people knowing that about you? Just start looking at it. This is so simple. You don't have to tell anybody anything. You just start looking at it for yourself. And before you know it, stuff will start coming up, and you'll get to where I'm at, where I don't care who knows what about me. Because what I've done, what I've said, who I am, that does not make me. Do you know what I mean? Like that, and that's what this cancel culture like kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it's like the whole freedom of speech here, right? Like, do we have that? I don't want to get political. I really don't, because I don't care. I know I'm staying out of that. But Stephanie, you don't care, but you want to make a change, right? You want to make a change. You should be out there voting. You should be out there doing this. You should be out there doing that. Okay. Again, there are people for that. You're going to hear me say that a lot. There are people for that. There are 8 billion people and billion people in the world. There's people for that. I'm not interested in that part. This is what I'm here for, is just to put the word out, right? This is what I believe. This is what I'm doing. And to be honest with you, all I want to do is travel. That is it. I want to travel and experience. I want to see all the different people, the different religions, the different cultures, the different way people do things. I want to experience stuff I have never experienced in this life. It's 47 years. I want to see bugs I've never seen before, plants I've never seen before, food I've never seen before. Well, I have gluten allergy, and I have all these allergies to all the food over here. But dude, what if I'm on the other side of the world and can eat whatever I want and not get sick from it? You ever think about stuff like that? I was dropped on the wrong side of the world. It's for a reason. It's for a very good reason. But I'm ready to go see some shit. I'm ready. So I'm lining myself up to that. And how do I do that? By just being myself and just speaking my truth and not giving two shits what anybody thinks. And that's basically where I'm at right now. Right? And before I'd be like, oh, Stephanie, you sit there and you say you don't give two shits. But then in that a little bit of passion in there, that means you do care. Right? You could go all day with that. Right? But the fact that I embrace my light and my shadow makes it okay for me, because it's my truth, right? It's mine. If you get offended by it or upset by it, that's because you're triggered because of something about you, and vice versa. So when I get triggered by what somebody says, which people do still, they can say something and then I'll be like, oh, but instead of going I'm like, oh, okay. And then I go into it, find out why I was triggered by it, heal it within myself, and then the relationship with the person that triggered me is still intact. Yeah, that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's how we're supposed to be handling it. That's the new energy that we're going into, that right there. And when you get to where I'm at, you're not going to care who knows what. I promise you. It's insane. 47 years. Come on now. I've lived really long. I've lived a lot of lives just in this one. It's insane. Wow. I recorded for 30 minutes and did not look up once. Did I cover everything I wanted to cover? I'm going to add this here because, ew, I'm so grossed out by this. We need to normalize our men crying. Can we please just normalize that already? It is disgusting to me that our men need to be men. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I go back into my childhood, and honestly, I was more pissed at the women than the men, to be honest with you, because I was like, well, the women are putting up with it. They're doing it. There's something to that because they're freaking doing it of their own accord. They may be like crying about it in the corner, but they're still doing it. You know, the men are just doing them. They're just, this is what I'm doing. I'm bringing home the paycheck, and that's pretty much it. Football. Let's go get some burr. Seriously. I grew up in the 50s, but it was actually the 70s and 80s. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we really do need to do that because, I think that is amazing. Okay, I had a childhood memory. I'm going to end with this. This childhood memory is a story of me speaking my truth as a child and getting burned for it. Okay. It was 3rd grade. Her name was Mrs. Zevely. Not going to call out many people in these videos, but Mrs. Zevely, she will be called out because this was a big one for me. I think it was as big for me as it was for her. So, bless you, Miss Zevely. I was standing at her desk, and she told me that I needed to turn in my homework. I told her that I did. She told me that I was lying because she didn't have it. I sat there and I looked on the desk, and I looked up back at her and I said, well, maybe if you cleaned your desk, you would be able to find it. I wasn't an ass about it. Sorry. She looked at me and she said, okay, well, first I got you for lying, and now I got you for being a smart aleck. Next thing I know is I'm being hauled to the hallway right outside the classroom door, and I'm getting paddled by a wooden paddle. Like, this corporal punishment was a big thing when I was in school, and it was okay for them to be spanked, for kids to be spanked. Horrifying. Ugh. And she sends me back to class immediately, Like, swat, 3 swats, I'll never forget it. Swat. Back into class, face red, tears, because when I cry, it's everywhere, my neck, everything. I was mortified, I was humiliation. Of course, my mom was pissed because she didn't get a call. They didn't tell her anything. And apparently, I guess it's changing then that they were supposed to, sign a release or whatever, because so many kids had been, punished and the parents hadn't been called or whatever. It was during the transition. I was one of the lucky ones to have it happen to last. And so anyway, the next day, I show up to an apology from a Mrs. Zevely saying that she found my homework. I think she cleaned up her desk. Just remember the words. I remember the remorse. I remember feeling her just melting into the effing ground. I remember that. And I remember feeling as a kid, 3rd grade, thinking that was enough. because I felt it. I felt what she felt as she lay, just melted into the floor. And I knew then as a kid that was enough. There was no reason for any other punishment. And I don't remember what happened, if anything, after that. I just remember what I told you, that it's just crazy. But again, I got burned, but at the same time, I really do think that was a lesson for her, and it was helping prepare me to be able to do what I'm doing right now. So that's a little bit of me, a little hopefully more simplified. We shall see when I watch it back. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Oh yeah, I didn't once look at myself. I stayed on the camera. This is a cute hat, right? I love it. This is one of the things I got that my inner child gets from time to time. I'll see it and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to have that. And then I'll be like, you're not going to wear it. But I still have to have it. But you're not going to wear it. But I still have to have it. I have many pieces in my closet like that. And honestly, some of them I've had for years that I'm just now starting to wear, like all the time, and not just occasionally when I get brave enough in that moment. Like on that day where everything's just lined up perfect, and you very rarely have those days, so you take advantage and you pull that thing out of the closet that makes you feel the most yourself. Yeah, I'm having way more of those now. I love that. But anyway, 36 minutes. We're going to go. Love you guys. Mwah. Oh, sorry.